I'm happy to welcome you to the Organ House Concert and Seminar Series today. It's a new day, of course, and for obvious reasons, today is Monday, Thursday also. And we thank you for joining us, particularly this busy day and busy afternoon. So today's focus is quite unique. It's unique in many ways because we're having one of our great maestros, brother, you can call it anything, professional colleagues, we have him with us. We are also discussing something that is very, very important for Nigeria, not just for music alone. And I mean organ music. When you talk about organ music, people have a kind of understanding, But this particular case we're exploring today provide an interesting layer to start reconsidering how to talk about organ music, or what is organ music, who are the people, what is the economy, what is the ecosystem, and what are most importantly the kind of innovation that these spheres or ecosystem is opening us to, and the possibilities that they also allude, and what they show us possibilities. I will get to that shortly, but briefly, the Organ House Concert and Seminar Series, for some of us joining for the first time, is a space of knowledge. By that I mean it's a critical space where we explore music, we explore artistic work, we explore creative work, we explore business around and within music. Again, I need to remind us that it's a free space where we allow creativity to lead, where we allow ideas to emerge, and where we challenge tradition through new innovations like what we are discussing today. Our business is to promote innovation, to open innovation to the world, and to provide voices and platforms that can sustain such innovation. So this is Organ House Concert and Seminar Series. We have series of projects ongoing. We have archival programs, we have research programs, which I will discuss towards the end of this conversation. I'll also share with you some of the links and updates on some of the works we are busy with at the Organ House, particularly the Department of Music, Mountaintop University. So let's move to today's business. So our guest for today is a common phenomenon. I'm sure you know. For some of us who have seen the flyer, is not an unknown phenomenon indeed. In fact, it's one of the those common figures around us, particularly when you talk about organ music. So I am so happy to welcome and introduce officially and unofficially again on the Organ House platform. We are happy to welcome the Aluduru himself, Mr. Babajide Odedeji, the Aluduru, to the Organ House Concert and Seminar Series. You are welcome, sir.
Thank you very much for having me.
You are welcome. We are so happy to have you today. It's quite interesting and exciting to have you today at this particular space. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So let's create a kind of narrative around what we want to do. So today's business is more of we're going to structure in more of 3 layers. The first layer is we talk about some basic things, then we enter into the business, then towards the end we come into Q&A, because we have, I don't know if you know about this, we have friends, colleagues, professors, students, professionals, organists, musicians across the world joining us on a weekly basis. And I'm sure many of them are already here. They are excited, they want to talk to you also, they want to ask you questions, they want to get insights from you. So towards the end, the last session, we are going to open the platform for Q&A discussion. So please get ready for them. Yeah. So to start with, let's start with the more like introduction. I think I would like you to introduce. I think it speaks more better from your own end, and I will. Yeah. So kindly tell our friends and colleagues your name and what you are busy with, your ongoing project and initiative that we should look out for. Yeah.
Thank you very much, my dear brother. My name is Babajide John Odedeji, also known as Aluduru. A very interesting, let me just use the word interesting. I'm an organist, a concert organist and an organ builder from Nigeria. How do I do this introduction without having to go back to details of how I grew up? Um, Interestingly, I grew up with a father who was also an organist. My mother was interested in the organ, but
Wow.
she was not playing probably because of home duties.
Wow.
Then my grandfather was also an organist.
Mm.
So me having to see the organ in the home becomes something that I am, part of. It's like a family. So whenever we see the instrument, oh, this is our family, and it's no longer. It becomes this is my second brother. That's the way the organ appeals to us. So for me, organ has been my life, has been what I have been part of since childhood. So
Wow.
that is me.
Wow. Thank you so much. Definitely, we are still going. I'm interested in that part of your mom. I'm interested in that part also because, I have many friends who, on many occasions, when we discuss, upbringing, and they will tell you, even some particular sound are just part of their, house. Even their mom, who is not a musician, when she's sweeping in the morning, she will la that particular sound. That music is part of the family. So I'm telling that part, but we'll get there shortly. So let's move to quickly the first layer, which is more like where you started from, a bit of history. The question I want to ask first of all is, what motivated your entry into organ sales and organ building in Nigeria? I think that's the first question.
Okay. This question, I have interestingly answered it to some of my friends.
Let's wait together. I think the first thing is you are an organist before organ building.
Exactly.
So, what motivated your entry into music, or how you describe your career trajectory in organ music and organ practice? I think that's the first thing. Let's do that. Yeah.
Okay. My career is dated back about 32 years ago. As a young boy in the secondary school then. I have this teacher who is my mom's cousin by the name Shola Bangbai.
Okay.
He was my first teacher. He was the organist at my cathedral back home then. My father was also an organist, but my father refused to teach me. So he asked my mom to call the cousin and said, let him take this boy. So what we do is, Uncle Shola will come to the house, there's a piano, he trains me, and when my dad comes back, he puts the bill on the table, a bill on the table, and says, if you play this within the next 20 minutes, you get that figure. So within the next 20 minutes, that money is gone. So we started that way. Then my father opened a dictionary for me. That dictionary is in alphabetical order, where if I play a certain piece, we write it down. If I play certain music, we write it down. So my repertoire was already large, even before I stepped into the church to even play for once.
Wow.
So I had been doing that. So when Uncle Shola left the cathedral because of studies, there was a vacant in the cathedral. There was no organist in my cathedral. So I was a young boy, and the cathedral had to engage me. And that was my entry into the music then. So they engaged me. There was a 3-manual organ and a 2-manual pipe organ. I have the 3-manual electronics and a 2-manual pipe organ.
Wow.
And I remember my father had to go get me a shoe with padded soles because I was too short to reach out to the pedal board. So I had to play the pedal board stretching with my toe. Wow. It's those times I look at myself, this big instrument, this tiny boy trying to access it. But you see all those formative years, I keep, training myself, doing all sort of trainings until I met a white guy 2001.
Okay.
He saw me play and he said, you can do it better. Why not try it this way? And he started mentoring me. And today, his mentorship pays off.
Wow. That's quite interesting. And thanks for bringing that. Mr. Chala Bangbala is a common
Yes.
phenomenon also.
Yes.
Definitely. And shout out to him. Hopefully he's on the platform or somewhere seeing this later. Thanks, Mr. Shola. So the next question, let's now go to that question regarding organ building. So what motivated your entry into the organ sales and organ building in Nigeria?
Yeah, in 2005, when I left the university, I went to a music store, a very popular music store in Nigeria, to buy music book.
Okay.
So I got there, I found this brand new 3-manual organ. So I asked the sales lady, please. No, it was a salesman.
Okay.
I asked him, please, can I play this instrument? And he said, oh, I'm not sure, but yeah, you can try your hand on it. So I sat down and I was playing. I never knew that there were some people upstairs listening to what I was playing. Out of those people were the representative of the manufacturer of that organ.
Oh, the organ, wow.
And the owner of that business.
Okay.
They were both together in the office listening. So they came down, stand behind me. I never knew people were behind me. They were looking at how I was able to, manipulate, use the stops, and the next thing I heard was, this is who we are looking for.
Wow.
This is who we are looking for. How? What does that mean? Turned my back, I found out people were behind me, and the white guy said, we have had people play this organ today, but none of them were able to bring out the beauty of the organ the way you have done it. So where did you learn the organ from? There was no answer. I just told you, I had my teacher, Chola Bangbala, and a white mentor, and he asked me, who? I mentioned his name. He said, you know Lucas? I said, yes, I know Lucas. Lucas is late now. He was, at that time, he was mentoring me. He was 81. So he's late now. He said, you know Lucas? I said, yes, he's my mentor. He said, oh, no wonder. So we started talking, and that was how I got into organ sales. I became the organ demonstrator, the salesperson, the technical personnel for a period of time.
Wow. That's quite interesting and fascinating. Thank you so much. I think, the next point to this, we are coming back to, of course, the organ sale and the organ building thing. But the next point I want us to quickly explore also is what was the digital organ business and organ building landscape, like in Nigeria before your entry into the ecosystem, before you, perhaps the time you're talking about now, what was it like at the time or before the time for your own entry?
Well, interestingly, there is a very popular vendor in Nigeria then, who almost sold over 600 digital organ in Nigeria. Yeah, and this was the birth of digital organ sales in Nigeria. This man is an Elisha man, is an Ijesha man, but he understood what was needed in Nigeria then. Many churches wanted the organ, but then they could not afford to buy the pipe organ. So he came in with this portable instrument, just like what is behind us. Came with that, without the pipes, you just play with the speakers. And before you know it, he was selling like wildlife fire.
Wow.
So everybody was just buying the next thing, this bought this one, bought this one, bought this one, bought. I mean, he was there, and other vendors now start coming up after him, also trying to go into that business. So I worked for one of those vendors then, and that was my entry into the sales. But I had known digital organ from the early 90s, late 80s into the early 90s. Yeah.
Okay. Can we move back a bit in history also? Let's go to like 70s. Were you aware of the first digital organ? Let's say perhaps in Lagos, because Lagos we can't generalize. I think the one that came in, I think it was around late 60s, I think.
Yeah, then it's not a digital organ.
Okay.
Then it was an electronic organ.
Electronic organ.
So the digital organ metamorphosis from Allen in 1970. Now, get me right. The digital organ started around 1930, where the likes of Rogers, Johanna, in fact, Rogers pioneered it. They started making electronic organ to sound like the pipe organ. So they have been on it, but Allen broke into the digital scene. So immediately Allen broke into the digital, every other person took it up. And they started developing into digital. So the first set of digital organs to have come to Africa or Nigeria will be in the late 70s.
Okay. Let me quickly say this. I'm sure we have very scholars joining us and professors. I think according to history and archival works, documentation we have, the first, I think you said electronic organ, let's use that word at least just to, in a good sense. The first organ that was installed in Lagos, which is electronic at the time, was pioneered by Ayorinde Senior.
Oh yeah, that was an electronic organ.
Unilag.
Yes, that was an electronic organ. Yes,
electronic organ.
Yes, I would say vintage organ.
Vintage,
is an electronic organ.
So
yes.
he was the one who mediated the process of that, bringing that organ to Nigeria. In fact, I think there was another man, Baba, one is the organ builder. Fayemi.
Yes, Fayemi.
I think he was also more or less the person that, because I think Fayemi was part of that.
No, Fayemi installed the organ actually.
Installed the organ.
Yes.
So I think Ayorinde Senior made the connection.
Yes.
And connected Fayemi to it.
Yes. It was a 28-note pedal.
28-note, wow.
Vintage organ.
I don't know if the organ is still functioning today.
I've been to Unilag and I can't seem to find it. Wow. I don't think it's there.
That's a great historical space for.
If they have it, then we should keep it and even bring it back to life.
I think it's an historical material.
Yes,
because
yes.
According to current research and documentation, we don't know that seems the first organ in Lagos, electronic organ,
yes.
Of course, electronic organ, that stage. You know. So we need to talk about these things. For those, if you have more information on other electronic organ before then, please, we are open. It's a knowledge space. We are open to, definitely. Yeah. So let's move to the next one. I think we'll come back to the idea of digital itself. You know, I'm quite interested in that. So then let's talk about more innovation. Now going to the idea of digital now. So what are the recent innovations and development in organ music and organ building ecosystem in contemporary Nigeria?
Well,
the recent one.
Yeah, interestingly, the rate at which technology is growing in the 90s, it was a little bit slower.
Okay.
But you see, once we cross into the millennium, let me use that word, then technology was running at speed of, if not faster than speed of light.
Definitely.
Yeah, because I remember in 2001, I had my first email. And now, even that first email, I have many emails.
Definitely.
What I could do then was limited. But now I could do many things.
Yeah.
The same things with technology. Digital organ technology has improved in a very, very rapid manner. Like I said, Allen pioneered the digital circuitry. They started by, manufacturing digital circuitry that could simulate pipe organ sound. Immediately they started that, Rogers took it up. They start the real-time dimensioning project. They left from there to parallel digital imaging.
Wow.
They left from there to the SS digital imaging. Now, they are all on the SS digital imaging. Now, any organ company who is not on SS digital imaging should just forget. They are no longer in the business.
Yeah.
Now, there was a game changer, Hoptwork. Before Rogers and Allen, all of them went into the SS digital imaging, Hoptwork was there already. Hoptwork, I don't understand what the guy thought of initially. Martin died. He did this, he was thinking. In 2002, he was still thinking. By 2006, his thought has become a reality. So investors came and looked at what he was doing and said, okay, we give it a shot.
Wow.
We give it a shot, and he worked. By September 2008, the laboratory where they developed Hoptwork was ready.
Completed. Wow.
Completed, and everything was good to go. Interesting thing now is what they do with Hopwork is they pick a particular historic instrument. Let me cite, let's say the Hereford Cathedral.
Okay.
There's an organ there, Hereford. They go into the cathedral and collect the organ as a whole and make it a sample set. So you are in your room in Lagos and playing the organ of Hereford Cathedral in London, in the United Kingdom, rather.
Wow.
So this technology shoots digital upward a whole lot. Interestingly, in 2011, a Nigerian mentioned that technology to me. If I'm allowed to mention names.
Definitely.
Yeah. Was he a doctor then? I don't know whether he was a doctor then, but his name is Ayo. He was Ayorinde then. So in 2011, he sent me a mail and he said, Babajide, I want you to look at this. I want us to, partner on this. I saw the mail and I sent him a response. Said, Nigeria is not ripe for this. That was my response. I'm sure he was not angry, or even if he was angry, but the point was, he was talking to me because he felt at that time I was on top of the sales then. I was like #1 salesperson for organ, and he wanted to look out for somebody who has the technical capability to understand what Hopwork was. But as I had not studied Hopwork, so I told him, I said, I don't think Nigeria is ready for this market yet. But he didn't stop. He kept on making the move. He was no longer convincing anybody. He allowed every one of us to go and see what the technologies, what this could bring. Not only that, Johannes, Allen, and whatever builder you can think of are already buying into the software technology. So for me, by 2013, I was already understudying the technology, which I didn't get back to him to say, look, this thing you told me rather, I'm now thinking about it. But you see, I also did not stop there. As I was looking at Hopwork, I started developing a management software by myself. Yeah, because I cannot own Hopwork. It's not me.
Definitely.
If I really want to do something, there must be something I own that must be me. That's because it's just like a car. You can make your engine, you can make everything. You are not the producer of the engine oil.
Yeah, definitely.
Even the tires, you need to get it from somewhere.
Yeah.
So, but there must be something that will make it yours.
Yeah.
So that is what I had to. First thing to be done was for me to go through that process and develop a software that was mine.
So what is that software?
It's Babijoh Organ software.
Okay.
It's a management software.
Okay.
That software allows me to do whatever I want to do with Hopwork. Hopwork, it's an entity on its own. Okay. It can work without any management software. But you see, there are things that I am looking for in my organ. There are things that I'm looking
for. More like add-on.
It's super add-on.
Yes, okay.
So I needed to create a certain effect around what I'm doing. So exactly what I have to do first before I venture into it. So all thanks to Ayorinde.
Wow. So I think that we are the next level now. The next question is actually coming back to this. Will definitely enable us to unpack more on this, your own personality and your entry into this huge, ecosystem. So I think, you have emerged from being an organist, a virtuous organist for that matter, and organ vendor in quotes, into an organ builder. That's 3-layered transformational process now. So the question is, you are now building organ, like what you explained, having your own software management, and you showed us the process, your journey. Although we are still going to unpack that further, but you show us the journey so people won't think this guy just came off from the blue and say he's selling organ. This guy is just bothering us, the kind of Nigerian thing. So, but I'm glad you showed us the route, the journey, But the question is, what's your aim? Yeah, because that's the question people will ask. So, for me, I'm curious. What's your aim, and what do you hope to activate or achieve in your, in this enterprise and this with your brand?
I realized that as the day goes by,
Yeah.
we are having series of challenges with international market.
Yeah.
There was COVID, global crunch.
Yeah.
From 2017, there was a decline in importation.
Definitely.
The cost of importing any item into the country becomes getting higher because of the exchange rate and what have you. So I had been thinking of it that churches actually want to have organ, but how affordable is it to them? In fact, it got so bad that churches have to be linking their members abroad. Please, if you see any used organ that we can use, please help us take it and send to us. I mean, these are the 1970s organ.
Of course.
They will bring them down, and when the organ gets bad, we couldn't get parts to fix them. They pack them again. So these things keep going. So I have series of thoughts in my head. So the first thing I did was I started rebuilding bad organs. Yes. So I got an organ that was bad for 15 years. I took it from the client, took it to my workroom, rebuilt it, and made it work.
Wow.
That was my first assignment.
Okay.
So after getting that done, I did for about 4 or 5 clients, and it was okay. So I said, now we should build one from scratch to the end.
Okay.
Yeah. There's difference between assembling and building.
Okay, I like that.
If we want to assemble at Babijoh Organs, it will be very easy. We buy this from here, buy this from here, put everything together, then we assemble. But no, we choose to build.
Okay.
Building has a process. The wood that you use needs to spend a particular number of days in its treatment plant.
Wow.
The core boards you use need to be...
At that point, let me interrupt you. Can you help us project those processes? Yeah, I think it's good to show those processes also right now. Yeah. So I'm happy that you are detailing the process or disentangling, the difference between building and assembling.
Yeah.
Because I think we are used to assembling.
Yeah, we do a lot of assembly in Nigeria.
We are used to assembly.
We do a lot of assembly in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So,
can you go to those raw process of the building frame?
Exactly.
You can see there's another one again about the standing frame.
That's a pedal board.
There's another one, the one with the frame. Let's go to the frame. There's one. Can you just scroll back? We have one frame that's, I think, a new frame just assembled, trying to build like yours. Have you seen it? Okay, thank you. So, this is very important for us to see because sometimes people, there are different narrative around.
Yeah.
Some will say, and this is not particular about organ alone. It's about everything, innovation.
Yeah.
People don't believe some things can happen in Nigeria. People don't believe that these guys can produce phone, they can do this, they can produce cars. They don't believe. But because we are used to bring it, buy from China, from whatever, and come and assemble. So this is why it's important for us to show this process. So please continue, sir.
So we did not assemble. We manufacture everything we use except for the keyboard.
For the keyboard.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the reason for that is not far-fetched. There are specific manufacturers of keyboard for organ companies, not only us.
Okay.
Rogers, Allen, Manda, any organ company goes to them to make, because there is a particular feel of the keyboard you want for an organ.
Okay.
So we have to approach a particular vendor to supply us our keyboards.
Okay.
Our circuit boards are pipe drivers. We make them by ourselves.
Oh.
Yeah, because if you notice, something makes pipe organ last longer.
Okay.
You see, they don't use digital circuitries.
Okay.
They use matrix system circuit boards. So they don't get damaged easily. They don't get affected by power. So this makes it much easier for them to stand the test of the time. So this also is what we apply in Babijoh organs.
Wow.
So it's a very tedious process.
Of
because
course.
for every organ there is a specific design. That is why
Specification.
we don't make shelf instruments.
What difference between shelf instrument and
Yeah, shelf instrument is an instrument you just pick off the shelf. You walk into a store and they say this organ is ready, you buy.
okay.
We don't make that.
Oh.
Yeah, we are trying to follow the proper organ building process. Yeah, that is for a pipe organ now.
Okay.
Because you can't walk into anybody's shop and just buy a pipe organ. That's not possible. Unless the organ has been built for a particular room and it's now being resold.
Okay.
Probably it's smaller than the new room.
Yeah.
So they will take it out and sell it as a second hand valued instrument. That is when you can see a ready pipe organ and buy. But for a pipe organ, it goes through a process. So the same process we try to follow.
Okay.
So,
okay, like because these are the pipes you.
okay, these are our facades.
Yeah, facades.
These are facades.
Okay.
They are not speaking pipe. Meanwhile, we make speaking pipes.
So are these part of your process for the facades?
Yeah, these are part of the process for the facades.
But
So
you
after
make
treating
speaking
them-
pipes.
Yes, we make speaking pipes.
Are you working on that now, or you're done? You have previous.
Oops.
Okay.
We make speaking pipes.
Wow.
It depends on the client project. If you want us to give you a Babijoh organ with certain ranks of speaking pipes, everything is readily available. Don't forget, in the 1970s, Fayemi and Jones was building pipe organ in Nigeria.
Definitely.
There must be something he was using. He didn't import those pipes.
Yeah.
He went through a process.
And even recently also the Fagbon.
Yes.
Emmanuel, the Fagbo and Fagbons. They were also at Shiabagege. I think, like I told you.
Oh, they built the organ in Shiabagege. Yes. They built quite a number of the pipes in Shiabagege.
Exactly.
That's very correct.
So I remember clearly because I used to, I know their workshop and see the kind of things they were doing at the time. And that is, like I explained earlier, that's one of the, pointers for me when people say this is not possible. They are just casual. I say, no, it's possible.
Very possible.
And they are, because they are also not the new one. There are people who have done this in the past
Before,
in different
yeah,
ways.
different ways.
But
This
these
is
new
not a
ones
new
are
thing.
just innovation, renovation.
Yes.
Let's put it that way. Yeah. So I understand you are clearly, but these are great. These are the pipes are great and the facades and everything. But let's continue. Then what we were talking about, is your aim. I mean your aim. Why is it so necessary, and why is it necessary for your own brand to? What is your brand aims to achieve? That's where we are, in Nigeria. And I'm happy you mentioned that the economic issue, issue of quality, issue of effectiveness. Yeah.
Number two, because I'm an organist, I feel like entering any home and seeing an organ. For me. And I don't feel very complete when I enter into a sanctuary that doesn't have an organ. Let me be sincere. I go to church, to a sanctuary, and the pastor preaches, the vicar preaches. Yeah, the sermon may be wonderful, but you see, when the organ sounds, it's totally different.
That's
You
true.
cannot even, there's no basis for comparison between the organ and the portable synthesizers. A lot of people call it keyboard, but that is totally wrong. It's a portable synthesizers because they use synthesized sounds. So I don't even want to go to a sanctuary and see and hear or listen to an instrument that is not an organ. I would prefer if it was a piano, an acoustic piano that you play, and okay, it would be nice. But you see, when there's no organ, so our aim is to, as much as possible, reach out to many sanctuaries, many homes, let the organ be part of it. Let me also say that many years back, you find out that when you get to a home, you find a piano.
Yes.
It's part of the furniture of the house.
Yeah.
Why can't we make the organ that now? In the US, most houses have organs in the US. And this culture really tamed a lot of young people. If we go back to that culture again, then we will be able to tame a lot of young people from street menace.
But what about the economic factor? I like the way you call it, the portable synthesizers.
Yeah.
And the portable, the word itself is a qualifier that also show economic potential of that makes that possible in Nigeria, because people can grab it easily. They are portable enough, and they are, in case you are mobile, you can move them here and there. But in most cases, organs are not that easy to control. Or what do you think? And it's, again, they are very expensive. Perhaps your brand is bringing a new tone in the economic space, bringing, producing products that are affordable for Nigerians.
Yeah. Okay. Let me use this example. In the 1970s, in between 70s and the late and the early 90s, there was a car manufacturer in Nigeria. If you are not driving that car, you are not seen as a rich man.
Okay.
I may not want to mention the brand, but I'm using that as an example. Okay, let me say
Pojo. Pojo, yeah.
Pojo. If you don't have a Pojo, then you are not seen as a rich man. So it becomes a benchmark. But in between, Volkswagen B2 came.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody was like, no, if you don't have a Japa, if you don't have Volkswagen B2, you are not there.
Yeah.
So people who had a Pojo had to buy a Volkswagen B2. In between, Datsun 120Y came. So there are entries. Yeah. This also brings us back to music. Pipe organ came. The churches were buying pipe organ.
Yeah.
Yes, Nigerians bought pipe organs.
Definitely.
They can't say that. But when the economic crunch started coming down, somebody saw the advantage. Baba Ayeni of the Rational Bookshop.
Yeah.
He saw the advantage and took it and bought 2 digital organs, and they bought it almost immediately. They said, oh, this is business.
Can help us.
He went in and brought as many digital organs, and he sold to many churches, even homes.
Wow.
Then it was readily affordable. See, it is like your dress. You choose what you want to wear.
Yeah.
You choose to wear a Louis Vuitton. You choose to wear a Tommy Hilfiger. It's your choice. But you see, for organ, if you know the impact of what organ can do to you, you will go for one. The economic impact of organ in this country is huge. We may not know yet.
Definitely.
But look at over 300 million people. If they tell you the numbers of denominations we have around in Nigeria, you'll be shocked. If they tell you the number of sanctuaries we have in Nigeria, you'll be shocked. Why can't all of them have an organ? We will be promoting organ music. We will be empowering some youth.
Definitely.
We will take some people off the streets because they will get more job.
Definitely.
And at the same time, a lot of our universities, I can count how many university has an organ, apart from where we are. But who has? Which
No.
one? None.
No.
No. So, and they are studying music.
Yeah.
And in I don't know, maybe in visual content, the lecturer is just saying, there's an organ, it has stops, it has this, and there's nothing to show. But they will see a piano.
Even the piano you can use.
No, at least they will still see a piano. So, what is the essence of having the music department without an organ or to even practice? Once we take MTN and Muzon out, then there's no other institute with absolute instruments. So we want to, as much as possible, use our local brand to reach out to many people. Interestingly, we have gone beyond Nigeria. Our product is in Kenya, in Uganda, in Tanzania.
But what are the current projects you are busy with now? Are there ongoing installations?
Yes. He will not, I'm not sure he wants me to mention his name, but there is a man in Nigeria currently.
Well, before that, I think this is, like I said, free space. It's a scholarly space.
Okay.
That is critical. So names is not something we cover here. We make it open.
We make it open.
We make everything open. It's a critical space because also what we are doing is also a part of ways to document innovation. So if we don't mention name, we deny people who will see this recording for project, for business, for research, for whatever they want in the next 10 years or 20 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's one of my very own great clients and father. When I told him I want to start building organ, he said, "You want to build it yourself?" He said, "I will take the responsibility of buying the first 5.
Wow.
In case there's an error, we will use that to correct whatever errors." He ordered 5. He paid me.
Who is this person?
Prince Engineer Ato Eze. He paid
Okay.
me. He paid me. He said, "Take this money, go develop yourself, build the organ, and let's see what will come out of it."
Okay.
So I started. I built the organ, and there were errors. In fact, I had to call some of my friends. One of my first friends that came to play the organ, Ajide, Aluduru, this pedal board is not well. You need to go and take it back and refix again. I said, "Thank you." Constructive criticism. A lot of criticism here, and of course, it helped. And recently, I stumbled on Dr. Dike Olukoya. Interestingly, Baba had been my fan on the organ as an organist.
Oh.
So he supports, good music. So he just sent me, he said, "So you build organs?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Oh, I want you to build one for me." "Where do I deliver it?" He said, "I will tell you when and where."
Oh, no venue, just build one.
Just build one. I said, "Sir, I can't just build an organ. I need to know the room. I started." He said, "Okay, I will let you know." So interestingly, I got to know the place. I saw it, and we came back with a 3 manual design. There's a 3 manual that was shown now.
Okay, can we see it, please? Let's see the 3 manual, please.
It's a 3 manual that was shown now, and that 3 manual, this version is the touch screen.
Touch screen. Wow.
Yeah, this is the touch screen version.
Okay, this is 3 manual talking
This is
about.
a 3 manual.
Okay.
But his own is also a 3 manual with a drawn-up, physical drawn-up version. So we are hoping to install that within the next few days.
Okay. Where is that? Where is it?
At the headquarters in Onike.
Onike. Wow.
Yes. So, and you see, these are people who are supporting organ music. They support music growth. I don't know. Okay.
I think we are coming to that level. Don't worry. We are coming to that development and sustainability of the project itself. But quickly, I know in your process, you mentioned a lot of people, your process, your emergence. Are there moments of breakdown, challenges?
Very heavy moments that I can say. In 2014, there was a business I was trying to do. I wanted to sell, this time it was an imported organ.
Okay.
I wanted to sell to a client. So I got the business when the dollar was 110.
Okay.
So at about 4 weeks or 5 weeks into the business, exchange rate skyrocketed to 350 from 110. So I could not deliver.
Wow.
So it became a serious problem. The client said, "Oh, return my money instantly." I started looking for where to return. In fact, it became a huge noise in Nigeria. A lot of people were saying all sorts of things. That guy has collected money from so person. He has absconded. I was asking myself, which money? In fact, I heard to a point that I had built house in America. Oh yes, it was that interesting that I had built house in America
With somebody's money.
with somebody's money. Money that cannot even, it was that bad. So after the whole scenario that I was able to find a way around it, I sat myself down and said, "Look, Aluduru, this idea of importation, if it's not going to work, sit back and build your own instrument." That downfall made a turnaround. It opened my eyes. I was not thinking in that line before. I just wanted to import organs and sell and just be a good business guy. But you see, the economic situation was not very supportive then. I backed out of that and I took some years of training. Oh yes, you can't just build organ. You need to be well trained.
So where did you train?
I had training with Rogers, and I had training with a pipe organ company in Italy, Tamburini.
Italy and Rogers in the US.
Yes, in US, yes.
Wow.
So I have knowledge of both the digital organ and the pipe organ. In fact, a lot of people do not know I know things about pipe organ. So because I never promoted or present myself as a pipe organ engineer, because I am not one. I just know some specific parts of that process, not all the major parts. So I can't present myself as a pipe organ engineer, but I am a certified digital organ technician. So in that way, after the training, I had to come back and start something.
That's great. But of course, we'll get to that level. I just want to ask, do you have plans for training people, having a community like you, building people like you around?
You know what I've been doing? Very simple. I identify you. I encourage you to go to the university and study music. Once you are coming back, you come back to us.
Wait, to go to university?
I just
to
want
go
you
and
to
learn organ or what?
No.
Okay.
I just encourage you to go to the university.
Okay.
I want you to have some basic knowledge. It's
Okay.
either you study music or you study physics with electronics or regular electronics.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
or you go and study civil engineering.
Civil engineer, okay.
Yes, I just want to have you have
good
basic
foundation.
knowledge, good foundation. You won't come to us. I had good foundation. My first degree was in industrial chemistry.
Okay.
So not even in music. So I had a very, very good, and I borrowed physics with electronics from my year one to my final year.
Great.
So I had good, basics of education.
And in terms of technology.
Technology,
also,
I'm very, very much there. So once I identify a young chap, if you are not yet in school, we encourage you to go to school. While you are in school, you are working with us.
Definitely.
All my workers are either students or guys who have graduated and they are coming back to work with us.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much. Let's quickly move to I think this is the last session. Just a few questions quickly. So I'm going to read a very brief, more like opening that can help us. Organ music education, training, and empowerment initiative in contemporary Nigeria and digital ecosystem. So under this level, we are going to explore that where I told you we are coming back to, which is about education, empowerment, and sustainability of this industry. Because like we've explained today, there's a differences according to decades, lessons from the 50s even to now, in terms of innovation and how these innovations have been sustained, and they vary in different ways. So, but the ways in which the initial ecosystem was sustained, I don't think the same can be applied. So we need a new narrative. So that's where we are going. So the first question here is, are there recent cases that show the state of the organ center development initiative in Nigeria?
Yeah, there is this advocation by General Olukoya. Yeah, this is making a serious, he's reaching out seriously to people. He's hitting them seriously now. He just keeps saying he doesn't want organ music to die. And he's supporting everyone here and there about learning organ music. He started a music school. I'm not talking about the university now. The music school, the conservatoire. So, and they have organs there to practice with. And I've seen one of their students, Precious.
Of course.
Oh, the lady is a fantastic.
She's finished from here also.
She's a fantastic organist. So you can imagine churning out such kind of projects. And recently they had these ladies on the organ. Those kind of projects promote. So the advancement is high. Recently I was at my alma mater, my secondary school, and some of the girls were asking me, Uncle, because I shared that link then.
Okay.
I didn't know the school made them wash it.
Okay.
So they were asking me, Uncle, please, we want to go to that place and learn how to play the
organ. Wow.
Inside of me, I was like, okay, so this is now reaching out.
Yes.
The Antinimi Akikugbe plays the piano.
Yes.
There's quite a wonderful women who plays this instrument, and they are the peak.
Yeah.
So this, giving your kid this kind of knowledge goes a long way to shaping them in life. It's a trajectory pattern. You put them on it and they will never go out of it. Have you ever seen a classical musician go out of classical music?
No.
It's not
They
possible.
always remain.
You're always there. Even when you try to, help the secular world, you will still maintain your classical music. Fela was popular because he has good knowledge of classical music. Same thing with Lagbaja. These guys are well. Look at, example is a Biodun Batik, who played from all ranges of music, and he's a core
Classical.
trumpeter.
That's very
So
true.
these things that Dr. Dike Olukoya is doing has changed many lives. Then another person who is, taking it up in that manner is the Bishop Akepelu Johnson of Lagos Mainland Houses.
Okay.
This bishop will come out publicly and say, train your organists, send them to train. He will encourage organists to go train abroad and bring them back and to continue. I mean, these things, when younger people know that you can be an organist and make a living, then we are good to go in this country.
So, data technology facilitated the emergence and popularity of sophisticated keyboards, like mentioned earlier. This development has strengthened the position of organ music in Nigeria and weakened the growth of many potential organists. The question is, how is organ music education, training sustained and promoted on the one hand, which we just explained? And who are the people, of course, we'll discuss that again, championing the growth and sustainability of organ music education in Nigeria? Of course, we mentioned Olukoya and the bishop. So the question is, like you mentioned earlier, the female thing you discussed, I think that was also, that happened, of course, it's an association actually. I think it's an association to train women.
Yes.
Exactly, that's one. But the point is, do you think the ways in which digital technology, like keyboard you mentioned, do you think there's a potential for organ music to really get to the mainstream, despite all this effort, Olukoya and all that, despite the effort?
The organ will get to mainstream with ease.
How?
It's just a very simple way of life. It's a way of life. Many years ago, we have manual gears.
Okay.
And presently, you have automatic gears. But do you know the new technology now? Manual and automatic combined together. So this is what will happen. This is what will happen even in organ. So now, if you notice, those guys who play the portative, they want to play the big thing.
Yeah.
They are looking at it as, I'm not even, they don't see themselves as a player. They're like, if I have not played that big thing, I am not yet there. So the enthusiasm is there for them to learn. So we are going there. The advancement is really.
Then what's the future of the technology? I'm talking about digital innovation. We have the VPO now. It's very popular in town now. Then we also have your own, this is your approach. So are there other technological approach on what's the future of this technology?
We will keep improving
because we are now going from stop now, draw back. We used to have buttons. So we have draw now. Now touch screen we are going now. So what is the future of this, particularly the touch screen thing, sustainability in Nigerian context? And the digital driven, software driven organ this way.
I can say, as long as technology continues in its way of advancement, these things have come to stay. In 2001, you can make calls. You cannot use your phone to receive email. You cannot use your phone to do many things, just to make calls and probably text messages. But by 2025,
today,
your phone and your laptop, I don't know which one is faster. In fact, you want to have your phone is handy. You can do practically everything with your phone. So when people ask me, why are you using touch screen? And I tell them, it's your choice. If you want to go the traditional way of physical drawn up, we'll give you. If you want to go the traditional way of tilt up, we give you. If you want to go to the futuristic way, we give you the touch screen. It's as simple as ABC. These are mega screens with high calibration. The same way you punch your phone, the same way you tap them, the stuff comes out. So they have come to stay, and for the technology, for the software, it keeps advancing. They will keep improving on them. You can't stop. This camera we're using today was not the same camera that was there in 1990. That has been revolutionized. Your wristwatch was not the same wristwatch you use now. The same thing with the instrument. My father used to come home with one portative harmonium.
Okay.
We can carry it around. We
Mm.
can move it around.
Yeah.
Then those portative,
yeah,
you
I
remember
remember.
portative harmonium, you
Yeah.
can move it around. We are going back there for the organ.
Mm.
Currently, we are designing a small organ for myself as my tour organ
Okay.
that I can put in a flight case and fly with it.
Wow.
So it's going to be possible. These are not difficult things to do. Technology allows this to be done. So it's even a space that we can't we cannot even finish exploring. We can't exhaust it. I can tell you.
Definitely. Wow. Thank you so much. I think the next thing of course, we want to. We've covered everything, but what I just want to say is, in terms of, let's come back to you a bit, then we'll open the floor for our friends. Yeah, your innovation, of course, we call it renovation because innovation has always been there.
Always been there.
But some people will come and renovate, and that's where I see the kind of things you are doing, because you are updating what people have been doing, and that is where the difference comes in. There's different, like you said, and I'm very happy when you explain the difference between assembling and building.
Yes.
Yeah. So the building thing is very important for us, particularly from Nigerian perspective, and having this thing locally. But again, we employ our friends. We need to support this kind of initiative. It's not something we just want to we know him. No, we need to support this kind of initiative. It's something we need to invest all our energy to promote, either directly or indirectly. Yeah, it is a collective glory. You need to see, I'm sure we know about the ongoing, trade war between the US and Chinese. Yeah. It has even gotten to DeepSeek and ChatGPT right now.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that this kind of thing is also a kind of economic power, a symbolic power for our community, our profession, yes, of our country. So if the earlier the better we start promoting and taking ownership of something like this, because I know this innovation, this advancement is going far. Yeah. Hopefully 10, 20 years time I will remind you what I told you that day. Yeah, I will remind you, because this is going far. This is not going to die. This is going to live, and we are all going to be proud of it. Yeah, so thank you so much. Thank you. So this is it's something that we need to write in book that people should read every day in school. Yeah, because it is, even the way people take it, they even deny it. That say it's not possible.
It's not possible.
It's not possible. So we need to make noise that it does a good work. We need to make noise about something like this and make it open.
Yeah, I agree with you. I told quite a number of my friends when I started, I said, permit me to grow into it. Let me grow the process and let me see that I, as a person, I am 101% confident of my product. Then you will start seeing my product. So when they start seeing the product, they're like, oh, it looks like this guy have grown a lot of confidence in what he's doing now. So it's not a process you just start and get into.
Definitely.
If you really want to build, you go into it systematically and grow in it with it.
But where do you see yourself in 10, 20 years?
Oh, 10, 20 years, I see Babijoh Organ as one of the organ companies in Nigeria, because there will be more.
Definitely.
I can tell you what we are doing will foster more indigenous organ builders.
Innovation and entrepreneurship.
And they will come with new things also.
Yeah.
And that is what we are expecting. I can't have this space for her. I don't even want to have it for long. There should be more competition for us, and let's take this building of organ to the highest level.
That's how economy grows, because when there's more people doing it, then the ecosystem is stretched.
Very, very stretched. Yeah. Then we can give America a run for their money.
Definitely. And that's what China is doing. Simple.
Meanwhile, we have our first order from America.
Wow.
Yeah. Someone who lives in America wants to play Babijoh Organ.
Wow. That's great.
He's just an enthusiast. He said, I really want to know how your organs sound. I saw what you're doing and I'm interested. How do I? Said, yeah, we can build one for you. We'll pack it and send it to you. Said, okay, please go ahead.
These are stories that we need to be hearing every day. It has a lot to do with our psyche, the way we think about ourselves. Because if this is possible from Aluduru or Babijoh, then it is a framework for anyone to also take advantage of, to make possible. So, thank you so much. At this point, friends and colleagues, again, don't forget this is Organ House Concert and Seminar Series, and our conversation today has is quite effective in many ways because we have one of our own brother, our own, the Aluduru himself. And at this time, Aluduru is not in the position of the organ person we know. He's here today as a creator, a renovator, and a CEO of a company. Guess what? The company that's making, not assembling, but building organ in Nigeria. And this organ is speaking already, and it's going to speak for many, many, many years, many years. So it has been an interesting journey with Aluduru today to talk about the Babijoh organ and the innovation, the kind of scientific, the kind of social and entrepreneurial power that has shaped and driven this product over the years. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. So at this point, you are free. You are welcome to ask questions. Throw in, raise your hand, unmute yourself, and ask question. We want to engage Babijoh Organ and their technology today. But before that, before the first person, I would like to also remind us that the Organ House and Seminar Series, from what we are having today, is, like I told him, is also part of a research project. So when people want to talk about organ building in Africa, they won't be saying, oh, it's somewhere, there's nothing in Nigeria. So now we know there's one in Nigeria.
Exactly.
And this particular recording will be made available to the world as a research resources on our platform. We have what we call the Organ House digital space, where we document all the inventions, the research, and the presentations we have. So where we call it a strategic archiving or archiving experiment on our YouTube channel. So you are welcome to visit the space. I've shared a link with you. Whatever you are writing on, music education, again, we have added to the list today, organ building in Nigeria. So the resources are there for you. So somebody won't wake up tomorrow and say, there is no organ building in Nigeria. Yeah, there's no organ company, no organ in Nigeria. So we know we have organ company, and we are going to have more in Nigeria. So please click, and also you can follow us on that space. So you can see more of what we do and encourage the kind of people we bring in, and also spread the kind of work they do across. That's one. Number two, we have what we call the organ right with me, my writing lab at the Organ House. So what we do, this is particularly for scholars, students, and business people who want to learn the art of communication, particularly writing now. We know in this part of the world it's a bit, it has its own rigor. So we are making it very cheaper for people, easy for people to do. So you can join our network. We have what we call Write With Me at the Organ House. So I'm going to share a link. We have a WhatsApp group for that. You can join us. You are free. It's free for everybody who really want to develop in that area. It's not a paid thing. So you just come, join the process, and follow what we do. Yeah. So I just want to share that also with us. So you are free to join us. And again, when you check the YouTube page, we have all the recordings for the writing lab, for everything we do. We have it there. So please follow us. Yes, thank you. Let's come back to the Q&A and the discussion session. Please, you are welcome to raise your hand, and let's engage Babijoh Consult today. So, okay, we have hands already. Thank you so much. Let's start from, okay, I'm coming. We have many. Let's start from Mr. Odusoro. Start from Odusoro. Then we'll go to Infinite Hot 9. I don't know what that is. Then we'll come back to, yeah. So let's go.
Good afternoon, Dr. Good afternoon to Mr. Odedeji. I'm quite very impressed about today's program. I see it as being of many layers, business, and also very educative. It's on that education lens that I want to ask this question. So I'm presenting myself as someone who wants to buy organ, and I have so many products in front of me. What would you recommend that I share? What decision should I take, and what should I look forward to get an organ, even including your own product too. Of course, I know you're not going to market yourself or to market anyone, but again, basic principle of organ purchase, what should it be? Thank you.
Okay, can I keep taking the questions, or you want me to answer?
Okay, respond to this. Let's respond to this.
We should respond to this one.
Yeah.
I think, well, my dear brother, I have this idea about when you need an instrument. If luckily you are an organist, then you are a little bit safe. If you are not an organist and you're just an enthusiast, then you need a professional organist to advise you. After you tell him what you want, the space you need the instrument, you need the advice of a professional to tell you, okay, you need a two-manner of this number of stops, this numbers of ranks, this is what is needed, the numbers. If it's not a pipe organ, a digital organ should have these numbers of output channels. These are the things you need to put into consideration. Choosing a brand is not the question yet. The question is the specification. When you get your specifications right, then you look at all the brands. For me, I say an organ is as good as the specification and the installer or the installation. So if you take any brand, if it's not having a very good and robust specification or not properly installed, even if it is the finest brand in the world, it will come out shabby. Even if you take Babijoh Organ and we don't pay details to your specification and we don't do exactly what we're supposed to do, it will come out messed up. So these are the things you need to seek a professional advice first. You need to seek someone who can advise you on the specification and help you put that together. Then you can now start looking at what each organ brand promotes. Allen will promote something, Rogers will promote something, Babijoh will promote something, whatever they promote, whatever they stand for. Then at the last end, you look at the figure attached to each of them with the same specification. And you look at the one you can afford or the one that your budget fits in, then you go on with it. Thank you.
Wow. So let's go to Infinite. I hope that answered your question, Mr. Odusoro. So let's go to Infinite.
Sorry, just to push it a bit for that. I mean, this is very educative moment, and if I'm going to ask this question, maybe I have to pay for the questions later. I think the man is a business-minded man. Because I'm aware of many sharp practices in this business, and I just want to keep it that in mind of the many sharp practices people employ to outsmart their clients. So I would also wish that you give me some of those specifications with respect to maybe the size of the size of church and what kind of specification one should be looking forward to make decision.
Okay, now you are going into the business details. I can provide my email or phone contact. You can reach out to me after this event, then I can advise you even better. Definitely. Is that okay?
That's good. If you would like to have your email then.
Oh, definitely.
Okay. Don't worry. We are going to share Babijoh's email so you can. In fact, there's a question that I'm going to read also. The same thing applies to that particular question. But let's take the question. Let's Infinite Hot 9. Please, who is this? Kindly unmute yourself, please.
All right. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Franklin. I want to appreciate Mr. Aluduru for this wonderful lectures. I want to this is the guy you gave a ride from the brother, at the last Christian Sings Foundation concert.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so I want to appreciate these wonderful lectures. So my question is this. I want you to differentiate between the pipe organ and the digital organ. I want you to give a clear differentiation between the both instruments.
Okay.
And I think the third one, electronic organ.
Okay, let's make it 3.
Yeah,
so
electronic.
Let's do it pipe, electronic, and digital. Okay, in a quick fix, a pipe organ is a pipe organ. Electronic organ is an electronic organ. A digital organ is a digital organ. Now let me break it down. Pipe organ. Pipe organs work with pipes that air blows into to produce sound. I'm using a layman word to explain now. So if you play one key, that key has to sound from about 61 pipes. So if you have a keyboard of 61 keys, you imagine for each of the key you have 61 pipes. So for you, exactly, that is how massive a pipe organ could be. So we call it rank. A rank of a key is 61 pipes. Just one rank. So if they tell you the pipe organ has 40 rank, just multiply 40 times 61. That is what will give you the total number of pipes in the organ. That is that. So a pipe organ is a little bit complex, but very simple instrument, and is the head of the church foundation. There is no other instrument in the world that is pipe organ. If it is not a pipe organ, it is not a pipe organ. Don't worry about those of us doing business saying we are selling organ with facade. That's why when I coin it, I say organ with facade pipes. I will never say pipe organ. I will say organ with facade pipe. Facade pipe are just those pipes you see in the facade. And if I tell you that it is a speaking pipe, I will put it hybrid organ. That means I am the parts of the playing part is the digital, and the part this is facade. This thing you are saying are facade. The part of the pipe that is speaking, that pipe must speak, not that speakers is speaking behind it. Then for electronic were the editions that were first introduced trying to simulate. They were not simulating then. They were just tone generators. Okay. They used tone generators. So those tone generators are not very near pipe organ tones. They are quite far away. So the development of the tone generator got us into the digital. So the digital ones are now very much refined organ sound. They will go and record sound from the pipes directly.
Sampling.
Thank you. I didn't want to use the word sampling so that they could understand. They will go and record directly from the pipe. They will put microphones, so many gadgets to record from the pipes. When they press a note of the pipe, they will record the sound. Exactly. And now put it on what we call a digital software. Process it to get the exact tone. They will work so hard with that. So that is sampling. They will collect as many of that and put it together. There you have your digital organ. So when you are playing a principal 8 foot on your digital organ, if you go to a pipe organ, it may not sound the same thing because the pipes that they use to make that 8 foot have different material. Like in my company, when we are making principal foods pipes, we can make zinc, tin together at a proportion, at a certain proportion. Zinc may be 70%, tin may be 30%. It could be any other way, but there's a certain proportion that's allowed so that you can have what you're looking for. Principal stops have many families, so you know which one. Geiger principal, there are so many principal stops, so you know which one you're looking for. So your digital organ is like the refined version of the electronic organ, but pipe organ is on its own entirely. Is that clear?
Okay, thank you so much.
So I want to ask the organ at Christ Church Marina. Is it a pipe organ?
There are two organs at Christ Church Marina. The big one is a complete pipe organ. It's a complete pipe organ, functioning pipe organ.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Can we have Mrs. Wodukwaye again, please?
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Ayorinde, again for this. My dear brother, thank you so much for this amazing exposition, really, on the organ. It's very eye-opening. I have a couple of questions, and the speaker before me has just answered the very first one, which is give a clear distinction between pipe, electronic, and digital organs. I just wanted that clear distinction. Then I was going to ask, do you encourage women to learn and understand the building of organs? I mean, do you have any such outreach to it? Because I studied my first course was electrical electronics engineering. So if a woman comes and shows interest, you know, as per building organs, would you acknowledge that and accept women? And then would you suggest that an organist just becomes involved in fixing and building of organs, just for you to know, as in knowledge, so that, you know, like a first aid thing? Is it possible, or would you just say, you know what, let us call the experts if anything goes wrong with, you know, especially your digital organs, you know, that should we just leave it to the experts, or would you advise that as an organist,
first aid,
you know, just, yes, like a first aid thing? Then I'm very passionate about music and secondary schools and children, because I grew up learning music in my house, basically. So do you have any mentoring programs for young people, any collaborations with secondary schools? Because we're trying very hard to put music, the way music is meant to be, back in secondary schools, you know. And I grew up loving the sound of the organ. I mean, I'm an Anglican by birth, you know, but I'm a Christian by calling. So the organ sound is still a refreshing sound to me. And I know how I felt growing up as a child listening to the organ sound. So is there something that you do with young people, or you're looking into it, especially for secondary schools? And lastly, what are your publicity plans so that people can know about this?
Yeah.
Because sincerely, I don't know if people know about this, and this is big business, you know, for us in Nigeria and everywhere. Like you said, it can take children off the streets, right? It can help the economy to grow. So what do you have? How do we get the word out? All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, let me take it from the first question. At least you have a clear explanation of pipe, electronic, and digital. Now, the second one is, if we have a woman who has electrical, electronic knowledge, or who is interested in the act of organ building, why not? In fact, one of my staff, she's a lady. A lady that I had, and she's with me in the electronics department. In fact, she's the only one left with me in the electronics department now. She does many things. So if you are interested in that, yes, why not? It's very possible. I have a lady friend who is a pipe organ tuner. She's a fantastic pipe organ tuner. She's from Czech Republic, but she's a fantastic pipe organ tuner. So this is not limited to your gender, please.
Yeah.
Then the other question is about publicity. Or before that, we have the schools, secondary schools. Yeah, for the secondary schools, reaching out to them. Very soon we will be opening. We'll be having a major concert within Lagos, probably before the end of the year or early next year. In that concert, we intend to reach out to as many of the schools to encourage them in the act of organ music. I can only start this with like my alma mater, which I have done. We have gone to the school. Meanwhile, I'm a proud ECOSA, Egbado College, Ilaro. It's my school, and I can say it anywhere. It's the best school in the whole wide world. So we have gone back to the school to, start something. But of course, we'll definitely reach out to many schools as possible. Then publicity. You see, organ sales, organ building has its market. So we will continue to reach out. My technical guy, my IT guy, Barnabas, will always tell me, boss, we are not publicizing the way I want to. I will just tell Barnabas, calm down. Just calm down. Let's make the next organ and let the next organ say it to the people.
Yeah.
I'm making a signature series. It's a 4-manual now. I'm making a signature series that is having about 32 channels and about 90 stops. And this organ will have, it's a total orchestra. I'm making a symphonic organ. I want to be able to play an orchestra on this instrument. So with that kind of instrument, I can ask the whole media front to come and see what Babijoh organs, symphonic organ looks like. We have symphonic organs in Nigeria, digital organs, but they are not really symphonic. Because when you play them, you probably find few strings, few principals, and then when you put everything together, you're not getting it the way you want to get it. Rogers did a good job. Now Allen is also doing something very fantastic with the Allen Vista. So Allen Genesis rather, please. So these companies are doing theirs, we are also doing ours. Yeah. So that's how it is. So we'll keep reaching out. Don't worry, publicity will reach everyone.
Yeah.
While we keep, improving on daily basis.
Yeah, thank you. We have many hands on up there. We have let's Mr. Tosin Ajayi, then we'll come to someone like Joseph, Professor Kwade, and Ishola. So let's have Mr. Tosin Ajayi.
Tosin Ajayi.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Dr. Ayorinde, sorry.
Thank you so
my
much.
My very good friend, Babajide. That's a big deal. Thank you for the enlightening session anyway. I have just a few questions. One is twofold. I think I should start with that one. That is there a need for churches to venture into purchasing of the pipe organ anymore with the emergence of VPO? Then is the emergence of VPO itself the beginning of the end
of pipe organ,
of the traditional pipe organ? That is one. Then secondly, given the average lifespan of digital organ in Nigeria, what is Babijoh organ bringing differently to the ecosystem? I mean, we know that most digital organ, by the time they spend 10, 15, in maximum 20 years, they end for them. So that's why some people argue that pipe organs still stand the test of time or this of that. So given the average lifespan of digital organ in Nigeria, what is Babijoh organ bringing differently to the ecosystem? Thank you. That's all.
You heard me when I heard Tosin Ajayi. I said, Tosin Ajayi. This was the first person that actually test-run my organ, one of my organs. And he came to me and said, Ore, pedal body okay, big pada, and honestly, I can see the sincerity when he was telling me that. I picked it up immediately and returned back to the factory to work on it. And each time I said, Tosin, don't worry. The next time you play my pedal board, you will love it.
You love
and
it.
I can tell you, he definitely loves it. But let me say, VPO is VPO. Pipe organ is pipe organ. They are not the same thing. VPO will bring the pipe organ close to you when you don't have the budget. When the budget permits, go ahead and buy your pipe organ. But remember that there are serial maintenance for pipe organ. If you cannot cope with that maintenance and the huge financial stands that come with that, then remain with your VPO. So you don't have an organ that is not well maintained. You don't have an organ that doesn't sound at 100%. You don't have an organ that doesn't function at 100%. I hope that answers the first question. The second question is about the age of the organ, what Babijoh is bringing. Okay, let me say this. During the course of this conversation, I mentioned something that we don't use circuit boards, that we use pipe drivers.
Yes.
My main reason of using pipe drivers is because of the age of, I wanted a long-term longevity for the instrument. Now, I was saying something the other time that the instrument itself, the wooden case, we usually prepare it, put it in oven for a start. I mentioned it to you.
Yeah, definitely,
So
definitely.
these are the process that the pipe organ follows. Digital organ builders don't usually follow that process because it's a quick
fix.
quick business. They get the woods, mash them together, put everything together. They publish the instrument. The instrument is ready to play.
Wow.
But for us, it's business. Someone has told me that, are you sure you want to really sell? When you want to make an organ that will serve for 50, 60 years, how do you want to sell organ? And I answered him. I said, it's a very simple thing. People have Rolls Royce of 1980.
Yeah.
And they still maintain them, still drive them. Then there must be something Rolls Royce is doing well. And they still keep buying from Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
You will see they will put it together, Rolls Royce 1980, Rolls Royce 1990. They'll put them as, and they still buy. Then there must be something Rolls Royce is doing correctly. That is the kind of mentality I carry into the business. I want to be Babijoh Organ. I want to see my organ. I want my child, when I'm gone, who will now be a father at age 50, to see the organ his father built when he was 40-something years old. And they'll tell him, this organ was built by your dad at this age. What happens to this that they call it historic.
Yeah.
Tamburini, Manda, Harrison and Harrison, you will see they will mention organs. We built this organ 1907 and the organ is still alive. By 2025, they have brought the organ back to the factory to rebuild the beauty of it. Your creation, they are bringing it back to you to rebuild. I mean, it's something very interesting. So I can't tell you that what we are bringing, that is the reason why I'm not using circuit boards. I go conveniently with pipe drivers. The same thing they use in making pipe organs. Because we have power problems in Nigeria. So my organs now have direct rectifiers, which pipe organ uses. Apart from the portable UPS to protect, you must have a rectifier, you must have a voltage regulator. These things are what keeps the pipe organ going for years. So now, those things are working at minimal, probably spending less energy. They are protecting little or nothing compared to the massive consumption of power that pipe organ takes. If a pipe organ takes about let's say 7,000 watts, this digital organ this Babijoh organ is just taking about 300. So, and you are using a rectifier to protect that. So you expect it to stand the test of the time. And for rodent in Africa, I am prepared for that also. Once I am making my console, I am making them rodent free. Apart from that, we are blessed in Africa. I can't say that. There's a particular wood that I got from Ondo State. That wood, termites don't come near, rodents don't come near. There must be something in that wood.
Yeah.
There's a chemical in that wood. We extract it and add it to our spray. And once rodents inhale the smell, it's like, oh, this is not a place for you to even visit. It's not a smell that human can, but they will. Don't forget I said my first degree is in industrial chemistry, and I had also pharmacochemistry, so the chemistry of drug designing, so it's in my head. I am putting what I learned in school back into the music. I'm putting everything together to practice, so I am not stopping there. We'll keep researching these things till we get to the echelon and ensure we give the best to our countrymen.
Wow. Thanks so much. Mr. Tosin, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, very well. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. So let's quickly go to Professor Kwade, then we'll come back to Dr. Ajosen. Prof, can we have you?
Can I ask you, sir, thank you for that or not? Can you please take Dr. Ajosen first? I'm listening, I'm multitasking presently.
Okay,
so
okay. No problem. I think we should go in. No problem. Dr. Ajosen, please, let's have you.
Yeah, good afternoon, the moderator and our guest speaker, lecturer, presenter. Of let me say that I have listened, with attention from beginning. And I, of course, I'm a regular attendee of this program, but I came, to listen attentively to the presenter for two reasons. One, the organ business or organ terrain in Nigeria is a very, very sensitive, emotional one, very emotional one when it comes to when presenters come. And I've seen that today's presenter has been able to detach his emotion from the industry, which is very striking for me. the emotion, I don't want to use the word sentiment, but I prefer to use the word emotion people attached to
Organ.
this was in this part of the world. It's very, very sometimes you wonder if people, well, let me be careful of what I see. So thank you for detaching your emotion and for being very objective in some of your comments, very objective. In fact, I was going to ask that. I hope this man is not even sharing his trademark or his trade there. What do they call it? His trade there, his trade deal.
Secret, yeah.
It's okay, it's a free movement. And I'm happy that you acknowledge the fact that more people will come into the industry, especially indigenous market, which is a big thing. Is a win, just like as we have, even when the Nigerian, some of the government, the previous government came and said, we want to promote made in Nigeria, even though the car they are using is not made in Nigeria. So, which points to the fact that there will always be hybrid, in terms of what people use, how people want to use it. You can buy a made in Nigeria, a made in America car, and don't ride it in Lagos, go ride it in Abuja. It's a choice. So thank you for putting that straight, that people have the choice. And I love your response to one of the questions that people should have their specification. So I need to thank you for that very dispassionate, that very detached presentation. Let me also ask, and I'm speaking, the first time I spoke for myself. Now I'm speaking as a representative of an association that the Guild of Organists. At the Guild of Organists level, we are open to collaborating with organ builders, just as it is in other climes. But we have discovered here that it is almost becoming difficult to reach out to organ vendors to say, can we do this together? We are not interested in who buys what, but we are interested in developing capacity of who plays what you said. You understand? So at our level, we have been making efforts, even though I must openly say that we have not really yet reached out to you. After this presentation, I'm going to get our invitation. I want to say that we need organ vendors and builders, now that we're having builders now. I mean, new generation of builders, because it has been established that we have always had builders before now.
Yes.
So we want to encourage organ vendors and builders to come and partner with the guild, just like the way it is in other clients. And when you talk about the distinction between the pipe organ, digital organ, and electronic keyboard synthesizers, like you described it there, I can relate. I don't want to classify myself as an organist or as a top-notch organist. But my current experience, I discovered, and I'm happy you pointed it out, there's a clear distinction between the pipe organ and other variations. Yeah. In fact, I can say that my organ playing improved 100% having to play a pipe organ now.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it improved. In fact, my appreciation, and I remember one of our members here who told me that anybody who didn't learn to play, though that position can be contested, that anybody who didn't learn or start playing the pipe organ, learning to play the pipe organ, will not play the organ very well. Well, I said it's a matter of opportunity, even if I don't have a pipe organ. But I understood it better with my current experience, because I volunteer in the church here, and I look forward to going to play the pipe organ, because it's a very, very refreshing experience. So let me just sum up my question and comment. We need more vendors, organ vendors, to partner with Guild, and one request I'm going to make is that we will need people like you to join us to educate the team of organists who play this instrument. Many of them don't even know the technology that drives this thing. They don't know. But because everybody can play, one or two pieces, and then so our duty or our part of it, as we promote the practice and art of organ play, we also think our members should be educated
Yes.
on what they need to know so that when they are making recommendations, whether to personal clients or to the church, they themselves will be guided. If I'm to make recommendations now on what organ should be, I think I'm better informed. So I want to appeal to you, Babijoh, that as soon as you get our invitation, to partner with us, we hope that you would oblige us, like you have always done, because I know you're a partner in progress. So please speak to other organ vendors, organ builders like you. Let's come together. And the ecosystem is taking new shape, and we need to all build this together, regardless of our interests. What is important is that we are bringing quality instruments, into our worship spaces, our educational spaces. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
You want to react to that? Okay.
Yes. My reaction to that, there was a question I missed out from this Missy Gay's question, where she mentioned, should an organist have a technical know-how about the organ? I missed that. I just remembered now. Okay. Let me be sincere with you. Whoever is an organist should know basic maintenance of his instruments. You you won't come to my church or to my instruments and there will be a cyber note I will not be able to fix for you. I will fix it unless it is beyond me. Yeah. If it is beyond me, then I call the core technicians. They will do that. So that answers that. You must know how to tension your pedal board. You must know how to set your stops. You must know how to do a minor voicing on your instrument. Major voicing, you may mess the organ up, but minor voicing, which has to do with, okay, I want to play particular reed stops and I need it to be at this level of volume. Okay, let me adjust the brightness, let me dampen it, you should be able to do that. If you cannot do that, I'm sorry, you need to learn it. Then coming back to Dr. Just said, pipe organ is pipe organ like we all have known. In fact, whoever told you that if you do not play pipe organ, there's a tendency you don't even play the organ very correctly. That person is very right. By my experience, if you have not laid your hand on a pipe organ, it's a different feel entirely. We leave that by the side. Guild of Organists, yes, we've seen the program the Guild is doing. Of course, we also are, we keep improving on daily basis. When you write to us, we will definitely respond. There's also Fellowship of Organists there. Once they write to us, we always respond. They need us for anything, we'll definitely be there to support them. It's practicable everywhere in the world. I mean, there's always a union, a guild that sees to. Then also about organists that are parading themselves as organists, or let me say about organ players parading themselves as organists. They have a huge lot to learn. A huge lot to learn. You need to, because we have some good hands in the country that could help. So the guild, the fellowship, we also have work to do. We have to bring up programs, educative programs, seminars, workshops, series of these things that can help, influence this one. Don't worry, they will not come in number. Those few ones that come will end up impacting those ones that do not come. Thank you.
Wow. So thank you so much. I hope that is fine with Dr. Jose. Okay, let's move to Professor Kwande. Prof, can we have you, please?
Thank you. Actually, I'm on the way, so I was trying to say a safe place for me to pull over.
Okay.
But I will not be arrested by these traffic guys here. Okay, just a moment. Thank you. I've pulled over safely now. Thank you. Well, congratulations to Organ House again. And Babijoh, God bless you. But let me quickly announce to you that you will be experiencing something unusual in that studio where you are now, Dr. Ayorinde, because some guys are already on their way to arrest Babijoh for making a fraudulent statement there. Because he said his our letter is the best in the whole world. So they are probably arrested for saying that the college is the best. So be ready to express that.
Fine.
Some of us are ready to already pick up.
I'm waiting, sir.
Okay, you are ready. Okay,
Yes,
that's
sir.
the discussion I found. That's on the lighter note. Thank you sincerely. I appreciate your presentation this morning, coming from somebody like you, and you added some some concrete, some ethnographic studies there. I just want to also quickly support your literature that there are two institutions that I know that have organs. So it's not only NFM, sorry, not only Washington. That you can also add that to your existing literature. You also Port Harcourt as an electronic organ institute their students.
Oh yes, I remember. I installed the organ. Thank you. Even UNN used to have, sir.
Yeah, UNN. Yeah.
UNN used to have.
UNN.
Yes, they had an electronic organ.
Okay, well, that's fine. I'm so happy. Of course, I am so happy about this. But do you know that,
We don't really know those who have, but I know
Prof?
that those two-
Yes. When I say have, I am Prof. Just a few minutes. You will continue, sir. Since it's this way right now. When I say those who have organ in Nigerian institution, I'm not talking about having one. I'm talking about from 2, 3, 4. In this particular building we are right now, we have 5 organ working. 5.
No. Let us not do it that way because everything comes in private institution.
It doesn't matter, Professor. Yeah.
Hold on, sir. To be sincere with ourselves, take a private hospital, compare it to a federal hospital or state hospital. So you have to start from somewhere. And we have to be fair to the system. You will see again that if you're also talking of music departments, let us also remember that we only talk of departments in the southwest in Nigeria. You will not find one in AP, you don't find one in BUK, or even wants to Kano. But let's leave that aside. What I also want us to now discuss again, to also come back is, you have talked of portable synthesizers, maybe economy brought us into that. There are a lot of churches in Nigeria, a lot. Pentecostal churches keep growing every day.
Yeah.
I do not know where to classify MFM. Whether MFM is a Pentecostal church
or Orthodox
church. Maybe Dr. Ali need to help me, or DP will give you some there. Is it Pentecostal evangelical? These are the spaces where we also need to now go to and let them know the use of organs in these churches. I'm telling you that they will appreciate it. Because now they sing hymns. Even though at times they murder the hymns when they sing it. But the issue is that most of them are now singing hymns. Most of the pastors of Pentecostal churches use hymns to buttress their sermon, their admonitions, exhortations most of the time. So can we also look at that area? I'm not because of economy or marketing, no. But for people to really enjoy the art of worship with that instrument. I can assure you that if we say we want to have an organ exhibition or festival of hymns, and we can get an inroad to Redemption City there, or I don't know another one that I know around that is so popular. If you have an inroad there, you'll be surprised that if you go there with 2, 3 electronic organs or digital organs, as you want to call it, whichever way, and we get there, it will boost that art, it will boost the market.
Yeah.
So I don't want us to just think that it's only those the mainline churches.
Yeah.
Orthodox churches alone that we start looking at. Let us also, let us also explore that. Brother, really, let us explore that.
Okay, sir.
Let us think of, can you have festival of hymns? One of the Pentecostal churches. I don't think we have an organ or we have organs. I guess maybe I don't know.
They have one. They have one at the headquarters.
They have one
At the headquarters.
We're surprised that, and that's got so that the art of what we are trying to project to worship our God in this kingdom business will be appreciated so much by these Pentecostal churches. And once the GO or the head of the ministry approves it, the bureaucracy is not like that of Anglican or Baptist or Methodist, where you have to go through stages before you get things done. Once the team says, okay, every church will buy organ, just 3, 4, 5 years, it will also create more avenues for music people to
get their job. That's job creation.
Because
Yeah.
you can't use,
That's very right, sir.
yes, so you cannot use organ,
Without an organist.
Contemporary music. Yes. So people will start. So I just want to also encourage us that, because I know the organ house in St. Smith are taking things further. They just don't dump it that time. They have a discussion. We want to see how we do. So let that be part of the action plan. Having said that, I want to thank organs in this for continuity. I want to thank Babijoh. I'm just seeing for the first time. I've not seen you before, but I'm seeing on the screen. Unfortunately, you committed another crime. My first time of seeing you by saying your college is the best in the whole world. Not even that you are. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks so much, Prof. Just a
Thank
quick
you.
one before your response. Prof, thanks so much for bringing us to this particular area of going beyond Anglican Church. I think it happened, between 2005 and 2012. I remember clearly that many redeemed churches.
Not many.
Ah,
Yeah, few.
But
Organs.
organ and our brothers from the organ circuit started moving into
there
those
to play.
areas.
It's very correct. Now, because we have we have an exodus of our organists moving out of the country, so we need more.
Okay.
Now, what Prof is saying in the right content is that now is the right time to go back.
To go back to that, yeah.
Those Pentecostal churches in 2005, then they already know what organs. But there are a lot of newer churches around now.
Yeah.
They are forcing themselves to sing hymns.
Yeah.
You need to see them try to sing hymns. So when they now see the proper instrument used in accompanying him, then they are really good to go. I think Prof has made a very valid point. That could be point of action.
Definitely.
If you want Babijoh to partner with this
organist, of course, definitely.
We are good to go. Any day,
definitely.
we have our portable organ that we can travel with, and
definitely.
We can make things happen.
Definitely. Thanks so much, Prof. Yeah. Okay. We have more hands up. Let's see. Yeah, we have Mr. Isola. Let's have you. Then we'll go back to Dr. Jose.
Isola.
Hello.
Hello.
I hope you can hear me, sir.
Very well.
Aluduru, well done. Dr. Ayo, the Lord is your strength. We appreciate what you are doing.
Thank you so much.
I think my first show with Aluduru was in the 90s in Ilaro, alongside with Nike Ogunjobi. I remember clearly.
Very correct.
The other brother was the organist. I think was also working with you in Ilaro.
Yes.
Which I know, no day.
Wow.
Well, here in Abuja, when you come to First Baptist Church, Gary Kim, we do meet there. So Aluduru, and in the Baptist denomination, Aluduru has been of great help in our workshop. So Aluduru is a blessing to this generation.
Yeah.
And the Lord will give you to the peak of your career. Backness, when, sir, I want to ask, with this wonderful innovation, what great things that you are doing, have you tried to collaborate with our music departments in various universities, colleges of education, and particularly the Polytechnic? I don't know if there is any collaboration, if there is any attempt, because I'm just thinking that Babijoh Organ House, Organ Company should be a place where our students will come for industrial attachments, 6 months industrial attachments, which will open their eyes and understanding to many things, which they may not have the privilege to be taught in the class. So I don't know if there is something like that in the oven for you. And also, secondly, I don't know whether Babijoh has also tried to approach the Bank of Industry, because with what you are doing, I don't know. Bank of Industry should also be able to be of help, because you are contributing greatly to the economy of this nation. And lastly, as the National Secretary of Society of Music Educators in Nigeria, I don't know if you are also thinking to be part of us. Well, because what you are doing is so massive, and I think you should belong. And this year we'll be looking at the issue of AI in music education in Nigeria. So I want to ask, what is the place of AI in your organ building, sir? Thank you.
Okay. Do I call you Pastor Isola, or I mean, this is a very good brother. It's been a long time we've been together. So let me start from where you stop. The place of AI. Artificial intelligence is everywhere. Well, organ is tradition. Artificial intelligence, we can help you with designs and open you to more research.
Yeah.
So that is what is very important. And I have a research department, so that goes into details of to check what and what we do all the time. So artificial intelligence is very helpful. Everybody goes in there and try to, catch a glimpse of what is going on in the world, because sometimes artificial intelligence, for example, I was mixing a particular stop for an organ and building. I wanted to mix about 4 types of reed stop together. So I just googled something and I picked on an AI platform. I said, mix 4 reed stop for me. It came out with a name. It came out with a name, and the name was very funny. I was actually looking for what to name it, and I said, oh, these guys, this thing could really be good. And we could have one day come up, and you'll find Babijoh Organ with a completely new stop list with new names that have not been in existence before. This could be mixture of stops, mixture of sounds and things together, and we name it. So it's possible. We are not limited to technology. Technology is for advancement, so we take it up with that. Then, partnering with institution, polytechnic. Yes. Dr. Ajose is listening to me. We had a chat 2 or 3 years ago. I just bumped into his office and I said, Doctor, I'm going to have a tour around the universities in Nigeria. He was the only person that accepted to that tour. Every other university I tried to reach out to were like, you see, the department. So I just said to myself, okay, it's not yet time. We will wait when the time is ripe, then we'll hit the ball, we hit the ground running. So having students coming to have industrial attachment to Babijoh Organ, perfect. No problem with that. We are willing to have as many people that we can accommodate at a particular time. We can even run you on shift if you want. We can give you hours of shift if you want. So, but I mean, it's a blessing. Babijoh Organ is a blessing to Nigeria. So if people can learn from us, why not? I've seen someone wrote me, he said, I want to come and train with you for 4 years, and you will license me to start building my own organ. I said, why not? Come. No one is an island of knowledge. Whatever I've known today, I learned it from somewhere. That company didn't stop existing. They will keep existing. In fact, they will keep building more. So the more I have people who can build organ, the more better for Babijoh Organ. So we're good. So we are open to that. Once for the music educators, definitely you can reach out to me. I'm available. I don't have a job. Technically, I'm jobless. So I don't have a job. My only job is me. And Babijoh Organ, I'm not the only person there. I'm just one of the people there, one of the persons there. So the company is running effortlessly without me having to be there. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much. So we have a few
Questions.
drop down. During the on the chat platform. Mr. Joseph Suberu, would you like to use the mic to ask your question? Or should I read? Okay, Mr. Suberu, okay, I should read. Okay, that's fine. So I'm reading Mr. Suberu's note now. When did the first organ arrive in Nigeria and which church purchased it? Okay.
When did the first organ?
Organ.
But he didn't specify. Is it pipe organ or digital
Ah,
organ or electronic organ?
Then the next one, how much will a 3 manual locally built electronic organ cost? That's true. Number 3, the Anglican Church Cathedral in Uyo has a damaged electronic organ, and the cost of repairs, I was told, is almost 2 million naira. Is it something our resource person can do at a reduced cost? It's a business.
Yeah. This okay. For those who wants to ask questions about the business, you can reach to us later after now. This platform is for education and information.
Let me just drop your email here.
Email. You can send mail to ateduru at gmail.com. Ateduru at gmail.com. Or you just put Babijoh Organ at gmail.com. Your mail will come in.
And
Babijoh Organ.
Together, right?
Yes, one word.
Babijoh Organ at gmail.com. Okay, I think we have it here.
Yeah.
Babijoh Organ at gmail.com. Ateduru
at gmail.com.
Okay, so you can now reach out to Babijoh directly for this business inquiry and other important personal issues, please. Yeah.
Then let me also advise our viewers. Every organ brand has warranty. If you have an organ that is still within 5 years, please do not allow a third party to touch. If your organ is more than 5 years, still, and it's still under 10 years, still, before a third party touch, try and reach out to the vendor who supplied to confirm if your warranty is still valid. Because you may be losing a lot asking a third party to touch your organ. I said that because of the question we received from Uyo.
Yeah.
So that he can have it at the back of his mind that when he's reaching out to us, the kind of response we're going to give him may not be very favorable if his organ falls under 10 years of installation.
Okay, so the first question refers to the pipe organ. When was the first pipe organ brought?
Oh, pipe organ in Nigeria. Well, it was actually in the 18th century. This organ didn't get to Nigeria. It sank. So it didn't get to Nigeria. It was coming from Europe, but it didn't get to Nigeria.
Is it to Christchurch or to a.k.a.?
No, it was coming to a church in the south of Nigeria. Not even to southwest. No. It was coming. This was bought by merchandise. It's a slave trade merchandise who was going to give them. It was coming to those
Calabar used to be economic.
Organ didn't reach Nigeria. It sank. So that's the first organ I know. Then history, I'm not very certain. The first pipe organ in the country, because there are about 3 of them that came practically almost at the same time. So we could probably say the one that they installed first, the one they installed. So please, I can get back to you with facts. I'm not able to say that fact right now because I also need to check, because I have a table of organs history that I created in my research book. So I need to go back there and check and be sure that I'm giving you the right answer, should in case it is for your research. But then I'll send it to our presenter. He will definitely put it and populate it.
Definitely. Okay, do we have, let's see what we have here again. Okay, somebody was asking a question again. I think one of our brothers was also asking. Let me read also. Mr. Joy Bamigbola. Okay, thanks so much for this very enlightening session, sirs. I would like to ask if there's a process of joining your team, and if so, is it open to people who have a degree but not in music?
Your first degree has nothing to do with working with Babijoh or coming to work in Babijoh. All we need is, we need you to have education, and we need you to be highly resourceful. We should be able to gain something from you. You should have something upstairs to offer. I mean, we will not just want to work with somebody that we have to be,
feeding everything.
No. We don't want to do that.
I think the point is, It's just the basic
education,
foundational knowledge, critical thinking, ability to generate ideas, contribute.
Correct.
I think
Very
that's
correct. Yes.
Yeah. So let's see. Okay, do we have more questions on other points you want to raise? We have room for 2 or 3 to go, then we switch for today to another level. Okay, let's see. Okay, we have Mr. Adejugbe Ademuyiwa. Adejugbe Ademuyiwa. Yeah, Mr. Ademuyiwa. Mr. Adejugbe.
Much, sir.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Listening to my brother Aluduru. He would know me as Adejugbe.
It's Brotoni. This is Brotoni. Come on.
Brotoni, no.
Thank you very much.
This voice is not hidden. Yeah.
It was good listening to this insightful training on the organ. It's good. Even some of us, we try to promote it, but I sent this out on a very big, where I was expecting that most of the organists will join, but apparently I didn't see too many of them on this seminar. But we can have a way to live out what we have learned here into our own community too, and how they can benefit. Of course, we have regular link with Aluduru on some other hand, so we know how to get the best of it. I just want to appreciate it. But you talked about, I'm not an organist, you talked about a pipe. In my area, we never had anything like pipe organ, so it's completely electronics organ, then to digital organ. Well, I remember that the first electronic organ that we had in Apostolic Faith was in 1966. That was Solina.
Yeah.
Modern organ.
Solina.
In 1966. And after that, we have Eminence Classic, and we have
Woliza and a vintage. The vintage in 1979, Baba, you know.
Woliza was 1977 then, before the grand Eminence Crown. That time, yeah. But we have a good lesson from what I have heard, so that the organists themselves need to know some little maintenance that you mentioned.
Yes,
that is not every time that you're going to be looking for the real technicians. They should have the knowledge. So we thank God that Babijoh is there, and anytime we have some of our boys who will be able to lend themselves to such training, we will be ready to take that in. Thank you very much. I appreciate this seminar. May the Lord bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, we have room for 2 more questions as we close for today. Okay. 2 more questions. Comments, in case you have comments, in case there are things you want to say, perhaps the organ building, digital technology. Okay, we have Oderoti Faith. Is that Mr. or so? Okay, let's have you. Thank you. Let's have you.
Good afternoon, sir. Thanks for the audience. So I want to extend my heartfelt appreciation to the organizer of the seminar on music, on organ music and building, and also digital innovation. So, and special thanks to Mr. Babajide Odedeji for sharing his expertise and insights. So it has been educative enough, and it has enriched my understanding and appreciation of organ music and its related fields. So thanks so much for this seminar. It's really a blessing to each and one of us. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay. Okay, we have another question here.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Dr. Ayorinde and Mr. Odedeji. Please, a little digression from this. Can you still be a classical pianist, and what is the process? Or, okay, you want to say you want to ask if you can still be a classical pianist. Though this is not too clear. It's not too clear. But if that's what you mean, anybody can be a classical pianist. To start from my own position, you can be a classical pianist if you follow the procedures. Yeah, pedagogue. Get a
Classical
teacher.
pianist. Okay.
Yeah. Pedagogue. Get a teacher and get well informed and foundation. That's the key. And you practice. Get ready to practice. We have great pianists on this platform, and our brother Babijoh is also a great pianist, a fantastic. Of course, you know what? I don't even need to. I don't need to introduce that to you anymore. Yeah. So you need to understand the process. Learn. First of all, get informed teacher. We have many teachers out there. Not every teacher can produce a classical pianist. Yeah. So get good teacher. Or if I'm to open it, I am proud of Muson. I'm an alumni of Muson School of Music. Find your way to Muson School of Music and let your journey start there.
Then come back to MTN.
Then when you are done with your diploma or basic school, come to MTU.
Yeah.
Then you enter into the world of professionalism. I don't know if that makes sense to Mr. Juba Oluwakayode, the answer. So for a good foundation, go and do grade 8, grade whatever diploma at Muson. When you are done, come to MTU. Then you will launch into the professional world of piano playing, music scholarship, and all that things we are discussing today. So any other question as we close for the day? Okay. So I think it's been an interesting journey. But before closing, I would really want to remind you that this particular recording, this seminar, you are going to have it on our digital archive space, where you can always go back to it for your own research, for your own practice, and for your own activities. It's about, don't forget, it's about knowledge project, and it's an idea, it's a way to mediate the current space, contribute our own quota to the development of people, society, and education in Nigeria. So that is why we have that platform. So it is free, it is open access. You can access any information. Currently, we have more than 57 recordings there that are open to the public. Yeah, that covers different topics, from artistic research, from art music, from performance, from different things that has to do with music. You'll find something there. So please follow us on the one hand. On the other hand, it is open. Also share with friends that needs information on music, research, education, anything you want to learn. Yeah, I think we have different collections there that can help you. Please take advantage of it. Then number 2, in case you need information regarding Aluduru or Babijoh, I have just shared the email with you. Check the box. I'm going to share it again with you. I'm going to share it again. So kindly copy the email, and you are welcome to reach out to him on business issue, particularly the case of organ at Uyo. Please reach out to Babijoh, and they will definitely be happy to work with you. And others, in case you have any other important business matters, training, please reach out to Babijoh. Then back to the organ house. You can join us on a weekly basis. We meet here to explore different topics. So you are always welcome to join us on a Thursday like this. And we have some special event also. As time goes, we announce this event. We are planning a huge symposium, which we are still planning to release the data, the call out anytime soon. Then we have different projects. Yeah. Also, don't forget, lastly, our writing space. This is not just writing because I know English. It's about writing as communication. I'm sure some of you want to join Babijoh now. You definitely learn how to write business proposal, business model. So these are the kind of things we do in this writing session. It's not just writing because I know English. No, English is not even about writing itself. So writing is about communication, and that's what we do. It's part of our own process into the world. Communication is key in everything we do. So thank you so much. You can always reach out to us via our social media pages and events. So you are welcome. Again, this is Organ House Concert and Seminar Series. See you next week. Thank you so much. Again, thank you so much, sir. It's great having you today, and
It's a pleasure.
we've learned a lot from you. We are excited about the things you are doing and the kind of innovation. I call it renovation.
Re-innovation.
Yeah, I don't want to
Very
call it
correct.
innovation.
Yes.
I call it innovation because it's something we need to really hype. I use that word carefully and consciously because we are socialized to stigmatize our own thing. Yeah, we're socialized to say it's a lie, you can't do it, Joe. It's a lie, it's not possible, you cannot do it. No. So one of the things we do here is to open things up. We can't change everything, but we can contribute our own quota through this platform to provide voice, visibility to things that needs to be talked about.
Yes.
Yeah, and we are happy. So thank you so much. We are still going to have you again. We are still going to bring you. We are still going to have a lot to do with you. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very
We are
much.
so proud of that, your achievement and
So
things you are doing.
when we are testing the organ at the headquarters, we will definitely let you know.
Definitely. It will be great to. We will definitely be there. So, dear all, thank you. See you next week. See you. Thank you so much. See you. Bye.
Bye.
Wow.